Hello.
Hello. Yeah, Dr.
Yes, sir. Good
Sapna here.
afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Yeah. Okay. So today, as all of you know that, I will be presenting a topic on pharmacovigilance, and I'm very happy that we had totally 500 plus registration, and it's a good number, and we are very happy that everyone is supporting us and joining our program with lot of enthusiasm. Are you able to hear me, Sapna?
Yes, sir. Little
Oh,
louder, sir.
yeah, yeah. So now can you hear me better?
Yes, yes. Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Is this okay?
Yes, sir.
Oh, so thank you, everyone, for joining our webinars. Medical Pharmacology Society, as all of you know, that is a society registered under Karnataka Societies Act 1964, and we are functioning since last 10 years. We have so many objectives, and which includes developing of medical pharmacologists and all the other pharmacologists by giving and sharing knowledge, providing platforms, and also support by conducting conferences, recognizing the talents by.
Hello.
Yeah. Can you
Hello,
hear me? Yeah,
hello, Dr. Shivamurthy.
yeah. Hi.
Your voice is very low. There is some problem with the sound system, I think.
I think you can maybe can you hear using some like what I'm saying
Headphone.
ear headphones. Yeah, it may
Uh,
help you. Yeah, I request everyone to use headphones. Maybe my system only every time everyone complains, but I can't shout. This is
no, not your voice.
yeah
Maybe with the
system.
device, whatever you are
Device,
using.
what, yeah, that's the thing. But is it okay if I can continue with this,
It is very
maybe
low. It is
very
very
low?
low. Mm.
Okay. But when I hear through the YouTube and all, it looks very good. Voice is also output is fine. I maybe little bit. Huh? Someone is saying it is clear. Can you use maybe earphones? There you can adjust your earphone voice and the volume and all. Okay, so I think it's better. Let me start. So today's actually like today we have planned like this. Dr. Sapna will be the chairperson for our program today, and she will do the needful. So let me just project the slide. Dr. Sapna,
Yes, sir.
yeah, just one minute.
Can I start, sir?
Just one minute.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone.
Wait.
Yes.
No,
So can you share the slide again, sir?
yeah.
Yes. So can I start?
Just one minute.
Hello.
Yeah, just one minute.
Yes, sir. Can I start?
Wait. I'm just trying to put it in slides here now. Yeah. Now can you see the slide?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. You can start now.
Good afternoon, everyone. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce Dr. Shiva Murthy, sir, who is the speaker for the present webinar today. Just to briefly introduce Dr. Shiva Murthy, sir, Currently, sir is professor and head of the Department of Pharmacology at Dayanand Sagar Medical College, Ramnagara, Karnataka. And as all of us know, sir is the founder president of Medical Pharmacologists Society, and its inception was done in 2016. And regarding experience, sir has more than 23 years experience. So almost 13 years in the industry and 10 years in academics or medical college. And sir is pharmacovigilance coordinator, AMC member, managing editor of the journal JPADR, and also reviewer of many journals. And sir also has been a member of safety committee and medical monitor for various clinical trials. And also more than 500 BABE studies also sir was involved in. And regarding the awards and achievements, Sir has got or received first rank in MD Pharmacology under RGHS University in 2001. Apart from that, for various pharmacovigilance related short films, Sir has won many prizes, and also prizes for various scientific presentations in various national and international conferences. And sir has guided 4 students. All of them have won prizes in the MPS conference and also KSMP conference. And other than that, we are aware that sir has published almost 8 books, including Crucial Pharmacology Trends, 2 volumes, which are very useful for the postgraduate students, and also question answer book, and 27 peer-reviewed articles to sir's credit. Apart from that, 5 book chapters and various conference papers, 20 conference papers and 3 patents. And also, just to say very briefly, sir has organized many events, almost 40 plus events, including workshops, seminars, webinars, and conferences. And of course, sir has been a speaker in various national, international conferences also. So this is just a brief introduction of Dr. Shivamurthy, sir. Sir, over to you now, sir, for the
Okay.
presentation.
Yeah, thank you so much for doing the honor. This is really, it helps us to progress to the next session. And let me just open the presentation. Okay, so we are still, waiting. Can you see the slides?
No, sir.
Not able to.
Mm.
Use the slide now.
Yes, sir.
Is it in slide mode now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, we have 4 more minutes to go. Let me tell you about our, organization where I currently work as a professor and head Department of Pharmacology. Hello. So I will mute everyone, including Sapna. I will also mute you also.
Yes.
Okay. So I just just to waste 2-3 minutes, let me just say a few words about our organization where I currently work. So I am currently working as professor and head Department of Pharmacology. It's called as Dr. Chandramad Dayanand Sagar Institute of Medical Education and Research, CD CIMER in brief, we call it. And we are coming under Dayanand Sagar University. We generally take 150 students every year. This is the 5th batch going on. examinations are coming up for the fourth uh, batch of pharmacology students. Apart from that, we are doing a lot of research also, various kinds of research, including encouraging the younger generations to present papers or case studies or ICMR projects. So my area majorly, after joining here, my area of research majorly into pharmacovigilance. And hello. Okay. So my area of research currently is more of pharmacovigilance, and I conduct regularly classes on pharmacovigilance to all my students. And we have adopted, one methodology where we encourage every MBBS student to, report at least 5 areas. In that way, they get the hands-on experience of reporting adverse drug reaction. So in this way, I think we do a good job by inculcating the habit of reporting adverse drug reactions in the very early part of their MBBS, and hope that that habit will take, they will take it forward for reporting adverse drug reactions in future also. So in this way, we have started, and it all started with a panel discussion conducted under CME conducted at our institution. We had a very good panelists coming from various institutions, Dr. Manjunath sir and Jayanti madam and many others, including Dr. Pratibha madam also. So from there, we wrote a letter to editor also, and we published a summary of our discussions. And from there, we took it forward, and then we started adopting this. I am sure, it works very well with the undergraduates. They also feel comfortable, happy, and at the end of the day, initially they will resist definitely, but once they start liking it, and I'm sure it will work well. And we popularized our pharmacology, pharmacovigilance related activities to various activities. Let me just now start. So with this, my sorry, it's not moving. Okay. So are you able to see the second slide? Yeah. You can comment. Can you see the second slide? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
But voice is not clear, sir. Please raise your voice and be somewhat more clear, sir. That's it.
Oh, can you please, use earphones? Maybe that will help you all. Okay. Because I think, if I start shouting, my energy may go down very fast. Okay, so that are subtopics what I'm going to cover today are like, what are the programs we conducted, just to give you some heads up, which will help you to, organize programs in future at your institution. And then definition of ADR, importance of ADR, importance of ADR identification and reporting, and then definition of pharmacovigilance, limitations of clinical trials, data acquired through clinical trials, like, what are the, which are, is compelling us to report again and again through our pharmacovigilance activities. And various types of reports. I'll just give you some, explanation about all these, importance of these, and benefits of ADR reporting. I will talk about reporting methods and forms that are available. I'll try to introduce, and I will take I request all of you to have a ADR form with you, so that we'll just have a small quick workshop on ADR reporting methods and the form filling methods we'll discuss. And then we will also try discussing about, causality assessments, WHO method and Aranjo scale method, and its limitations also we'll discuss, and then we'll conclude with it. Okay. So with this, let me start my presentation. As all of you know that, phenytoin. You can see here, phenytoin produces hypertrophy of gum, and it is an ADR, and which need to be reported. And again, sulfur drugs can create such big problem. What you can see here, that Stevens-Johnson syndrome, bullous epidermal necrolysis. I don't think any of our patients should have these kind of adverse drug reactions, and none of us would like to have such kind of adverse drug reactions. So if we all join together, we can throw away all these bad drugs out of the market. So we can only do by reporting adverse drug reactions. So you can see one more adverse drug reactions like tetracyclines, permanent discoloration of teeth. Tetracycline causing permanent discoloration of teeth, and so many other problems, like. Then this is a event that happened in 1960s. At that time, William McBride, he is a physician from Australia. He wrote one letter to Lancet journal, just one small letter. Okay, you can see that you may be thinking that a letter to editor and all, why should we write? It's a very small publication, it's of no use, like that. We keep thinking. But like he just wrote one letter to editor with this picture and little bit of explanation, and then it went to the desk of editor, and they found that something interesting is happening here, and then they published it. And to the surprise, like to all the physicians at that time, they found more than 20,000 babies suffering from this kind of adverse drug reaction. And how many of us would like to have this kind of baby having no limbs, no upper limb or no lower limb, and seal-like limbs? I don't think any of us would like to have. So this is such a serious thing. Why it happened? It happened mainly because like mother did not want to have vomiting or nausea, vomiting sensation during their pregnancy. Is that a big problem? I don't think. It's not a big problem. Maybe every mother will suffer from nausea or vomiting. Okay, when they, at least during the first trimester, second trimester, they will suffer. But it's sometimes it is important to for the best gift mother can give to the next generation is by giving the healthy baby. So to do that, we need to bear some kind of issue, means this kind of adverse drug reactions or nausea, vomiting, or some of the symptoms. So because those days mothers wanted to prevent it, they took the medication thalidomide, and patients had these kind of adverse drug reactions. And that's why like this raised antenna, and when they searched, more than 20,000 babies born with this kind of adverse drug reaction. So it's very serious problem. So when such problem happened, then suddenly all kind of regulations started coming in. You can see 1964 World Medical Association was born, and next to that we had like many Helsinki Declaration came in, and good clinical practice came in. Many other regulations started coming in, and lot of regulations were put in for preventing future such kind of events. And today you can see that so much of research need to be done for getting one molecule to the market. If we have to do that, we may have to spend for getting one molecule to market, we may have to spend 10,000 crores. Nowadays maybe it may be 30,000 crores. So is it worth? Yes, it is worth. We need to spend to ensure that we have safer drugs in the market. So a lot of research happens. Nearly 10 years of efforts goes in bringing one medication to the market, one medicine to the market. So this is the kind of efforts. Even after that, you will see that, you can see that Many drugs are withdrawn within 1 year of their introduction into the market. Okay, within 1 year. Can you imagine what kind of research they do by spending 10 years and 20 to 30,000 crores of rupees? So many pharma companies are banned. Nowadays, I just heard recently SCG, some ethical issue has cropped up. I don't know whether it is true or not, but like you can see that so many CROs in India are closed. I can name, Lotus Lab in Bangalore is closed, Fortis Clinical Research closed, and then the Semler got closed, many others. Many other CROs come under radar. Highly recruiting, CROs, they come under radar. Why? Because there can be lapses while conducting the clinical research. That's why pharmacovigilance is very important. That's what has led to this kind of grave problem. That's 20,000 babies. Even if you see today, the youngest victim today, even today, is 4 to 5 years aged person. So nearly now it is 2025, another 40 years back. So totally 60 years after, even 60 years after the event, the disaster, we are still suffering from this. This is the problem we are all facing, and pharmacovigilance is very important. That's why we all have to contribute for the development of safer or keeping the medicine, safer medicines in the market. So we all have very important role to play, and we need to contribute in this regard. Now, just to encourage all of you to take the responsibility for conducting pharmacovigilance activities, quickly I'll run through some of the activities what we did. So during since last 4 years, we are conducting various kinds of activities during the pharmacovigilance week. So inauguration happens. Okay, someone has scribbled. Please don't do that. Okay, so then, like during the I want to quote some important words given by our principal, and at that time principal Dr. Ashok, and now he is the director. So all drugs are having therapeutic effects, but they will also produce adverse drug reactions. Students should be aware of them and look for new areas which are not mentioned in the standard textbooks, and take measures to prevent them from causing further damage to the patient. What he meant is that, all the adverse drug reactions are not mentioned in your textbook or the current literature. So you need to continuously look forward for identifying such adverse drug reactions and take measures to prevent in the future. And document it, many, areas. A single report is also good. Like William McBride, he just, if he would have ignored, this is just a small case, why should I report like that? Then, we would have lost the bus. So he reported the case report, and then finally, we could take some measures. Similarly, every adverse drug reactions, what you are reporting to the regulatory authorities, try to evaluate whether it is common one or not common one. If you find it is uncommon one, so report it as an event, at least, as a one single case history, no problem. It is good, it adds to the literature, and someone will find it interesting, and it may act as the basis for conducting further research. So this is my humble request to everyone who is participating today to take a measures to go and report, publish or present in a conference. And after publishing the presenting the conference, at least make a report and put it into the publication. Okay, so we encourage. You can see a lot of enthusiasm coming from everyone. We conduct street plays and awareness programs, and we have a very nice pediatrician, Dr. Ashwin Akappa. She comes every time, and she helps us to spread words about adverse drug reactions and drugs that are secreted in milk and that can they can affect the babies and all like this. So we get a lot of support from our.
So the same thing, public. Another one more Abhiyan I did.
Okay, so I think someone else. Okay, So now you can see that, like, see, selfie abhiyan I did it. Okay, here you can see, selfie abhiyan. It's very interesting, to include nowadays. These are the trendy things. You can do, selfie abhiyan. You can call nurses, everyone, so they can help you to, report, bring awareness. Basically, you can publish in public.
That is the identity.
Okay. So after that, certificate course, what we have done as a value added course, we have added one course called as certificate course in pharmacovigilance to undergraduates. So all the MBBS students who come to me, so they are added into this course, and they will be, part of this course throughout the year, and they are made, they are trained for at least 5 to 6 hours on this kind of lecture, and after that they will be allowed to go to the wards, and they will come back with the reports, and we will take this kind of photos with them as a group photo, and we'll share with them also. They can also share in the public domain. So these are all kind of activities which bring awareness among the public. Okay, so then
Lost ourselves.
so here I also did I have a podcast methods where I popularize adverse drug reactions, and make the people aware about it. So you can also do, and the newsletter also released by our college. You can see that I have given links. They are available in the YouTube. You can go to my channel. You will see that there are Kannada song and English song I have written and then performed it, and it is available for you to view.
Now,
And
before getting into my before getting into my talk,
okay, so these are the some of the
before next is that
sorry.
so next is that so also then I regularly do also. Okay, very good wide publicity.
So like this, I use the various methodology. You can see there is a ADR record, ADR is mentioned here on the top. And then I did one, 1 minute video, which, helps us to identify, printing the prescription to reduce the errors. So that kind of thing. I wrote this letter, this song also. ವೈದ್ಯರ ಸಲಹೆ ಇಲ್ದೇನೆ ಗರ್ಭಿಣಿ ಮಾತ್ರೆ ತಿಂದಲಲ್ಲೇ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ ಮಗುವಿಗೆ ಕಾಲಿಲ್ಲೇ. So like this, what I'm saying that, it's a kind of song for, the folk song. Through this kind of methods, I raised awareness. I also conducted a radio program. Okay, so you can see the radio program where I went into air, All India Radio, and then did some activities. And then, so like this, you can see that Uppsala report, we published a book called Pharmacovigilance Reflective Writing book. So that is also available in the public domain. And this was referred by the, this our book is referred in this Uppsala reports, WHO. So they have also, appreciated our efforts. And then you can see that, some of the activities, as I already mentioned during the introduction, my videos are awarded also by the national organization. This is just to give you some kind of understanding that, various activities can be conducted to bring awareness among the public, which can help us to popularize. And this, if you are more enthusiastic, if you are 100% enthusiastic, you will get 5% of the reports that are reported in your hospital. So take it from me. Okay, if you think that, okay, nothing will happen, I'm sure nothing will happen. Okay, you need to take the measures to, popularize, get into the brain, attract some space, eyeball space, ear space, and visual space, to attract the attention of the general public to report these adverse drug reactions. So it's a lot of commitment is required from your side. So you need to make a lot of efforts to, because these are the social service related activities. We can't afford to, lose the attention of the people. So we should make best efforts. So now let me just, tell you about the definition of adverse drug reaction. You can see here. adverse drug reaction means all of you know already. So a response to a drug which is noxious and unintended occurs at doses normally used in man for the prophylaxis, diagnosis, or therapy of disease or further modification of the physiological function. Okay, so this is the definition of the adverse event. So you can see that noxious unintended. Okay, so always you will get confused. What is the definition of adverse drug reaction? It is a noxious unintended. Okay, so many pharmacological actions are there. Okay, for every drug there will be 101 pharmacological actions in there. But suppose you are treating diabetes, hypoglycemia. We never want hypoglycemia to occur. So hypoglycemia is an adverse drug reaction. Similarly, if you are giving a drug for reducing BP, so you never want hypotension to occur, or itching to occur, or any pedal edema to occur. So if those things, they are all pharmacological actions. They are the extension of pharmacological actions. Okay, so if they occur within the therapeutic dose, okay, normal therapeutic dose, when you are using the drug for prophylaxis, diagnosis, or therapy, at that time it is considered as an adverse drug reaction, okay, or modification of the physiological function, maybe pregnancy. Okay, so something called as adverse event. Okay, there is a difference between adverse drug reaction and adverse event. Okay, what do you mean by adverse event? Adverse event means, see, suppose you are taking medication like antihistaminic for reducing itching. Okay, and it also produces the sedation. Okay, so it also produces sedation. When the person experiences sedation and he starts moving the vehicle, okay, or driving a vehicle, or he uses, he runs a machine in a factory and gets into trouble. Okay, he falls down due to accident, or he gets injured during the factory work because of sedation caused by the antihistaminic. Then sedation is an adverse drug reaction, and accident is a adverse event. Okay, any event, whether it is related or not related to the drug, which occurs after the intake of the medication, but not necessarily related, causal, not necessarily having the causal relationship with the event or the treatment. So when that happens, then it is called an adverse event. Okay, so generally adverse event is referred to be referred in the clinical trials. Generally, in clinical trials we use this to either relate it or not to relate it. Okay, so when it comes under the either possibly, probably, or definitely related, then it comes under the adverse drug reaction. When it is unrelated, okay, when it is unrelated, okay, or not not known, in such cases, then we can consider it as an adverse event. Okay, so every drug can to the human being, and if you throw away, okay, if you throw away the drugs, okay, if you throw away the drugs to the sea, then it is so much good you are doing to the persons, people, okay, and it is so much bad to the animals or the creatures living under the water. Okay, if you throw away all the medicines to the sea, then it is so good for human beings, and it is so bad to the any creatures that are living under the sea. So no medicine is safe in this earth, okay, on this earth. Okay, every medicine have the possibility of causing the issues or the adverse drug reactions to the persons. Even if you eat food more than required, what will happen? You will suffer from diabetes. If you drink more water than required, you will suffer from diuresis. So when food and water are not safe, and I'm sure we will have adverse event, we will experience adverse event by using any possible drug that is available. So now we'll come to the pharmacovigilance. What do you mean by pharmacovigilance? Pharmacovigilance, like I feel so bad, after teaching 100 times to the undergraduates. Okay, so it's very important. We should be very thorough with it, and we should keep on transmitting that to undergraduates. The science and activities related to the detection, assessment, understanding, and prevention of adverse drug reactions or adverse effects. Okay, so or any other problem related to the drug. Okay, so this is a detection. Most importantly, you need to detect, assess, okay, and understand and then prevent. Okay, so assessment, generally causality assessment, you will see root cause analysis, you will do understand what is, whether it is a system problem, is it the drug supply problem, is it the storage problem, is it related to even exposure to sunlight is a problem, or whatever it is. We need to understand and then take the preventive measures to ensure that the patients are having or removed from that causal agent. Okay, so here you can see that every drug requires every kind of drug. It can be pharmaceutical or herbal or traditional or complementary medicine, blood products, biologicals, medical devices, vaccines. Everything what we are using, they all can cause the adverse, the adverse issues, and we need to report all of them. Especially under pharmacovigilance, you will have pharmaceuticals, herbals, traditional and complementary medicines, and vaccines and biologicals. All these come under pharmacovigilance. Okay, so blood comes under the hemovigilance, and devices come under the material vigilance, which we just last week we had one session on that. Okay, so who should why do we need to do the pharmacovigilance activity? First of all, as I told you in the beginning itself, we spend 10,000 crores of rupees or 10 years in understanding the medicine, but still, why do we need to do this, after medication? Okay, what is the total population on this earth? Nearly 8 billion people are there on this earth. So can we do research on all 8 billion people? Is it possible? No way we will be able to conduct such research. Okay, so when we have such problems, so how are we going to deal with it? Okay, the best way is that doing the pharmacovigilance activity, post-marketing surveillance activities, risk management protocols. So these are the ways we should be able to manage the adverse drug reactions or prevent. So we have limited experience. What is the total number of people exposed before getting the drug to the market? Around 10,000 people maximum. Okay, so you will do some preclinical studies, laboratory in vitro studies and all. After that, you will do phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. But in phase 1, maximum 20 to 80 people. In phase 2, around 200 to 500 people. In phase 3, you have 1,000 to 10,000 people maximum. This is what. And can we match these 10,000 people to the 8 billion people? Is it possible? I don't think it is possible. We will not be able to, we will not be able to achieve the highest amount of safety data. Okay, we will not be able to do. So only method what we can do is by conducting the pharmacovigilance activities. So this is the thing. Okay, so every phase, even though we have checks and balances. Okay, so you register a molecule, you get the patency for it, and you do the preclinical studies. After that, the new chemical entity is registered. After that, you keep on doing the studies, phase 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 3. After that, you will register the drug into the for releasing into the market. New drug application you will put, and then you will move forward. So even with all these checks and balances, still all these results need to be taken with a pinch of salt. That's what they say. Okay, statistical analysis either can make or kill, okay, any molecule or any data or any research. So we all want positive research data to be published. But what will happen to the negative? So when the negative does not come into the public, the pharmacovigilance come into the forefront. That's what happens. Okay. So if the negative results are not published, then pharmacovigilance is the only way we can prevent, we can protect the human being from getting harmed. Okay, so let me talk about, what are the limitations of clinical, like preclinical studies. So you can see here, penicillin was found to be toxic to guinea pigs. Okay, so we can see that, penicillin is the one of the best medicine even today, except the allergic reactions. Okay, so I hope all of you agree. Penicillin is the best medication, a medicine available, and it is having the highest therapeutic index. And I have used, left and right, so much you can use, but nothing happens. Okay, so penicillin is the best. But if you would have believed guinea pig, then we would have gone. Okay, we would have not, not enjoyed the penicillin benefits of penicillin. So we will have to again, whether to believe or not, preclinical studies, we need to be very careful. Again, aspirin was poisonous to cats. So if you would have believed this result, then you would have lost aspirin also. Aspirin, more than 100-year-old medicine, and it is one of the best medicine also today, even today. Okay, again, HIV, like if you would have believed chimpanzees, the HIV vaccine is found to be very effective in chimpanzees, but it is not useful in humans. Okay, so this is the way, like what I'm saying is what we are seeing. So when we find, preclinical study results, they are all, like green or sometimes, red. So when it is green, it is not real green. When it is red, it is not real red. So that's something what we need to be very, very skeptical about it. Again, next is experimental limitations. When you are conducting clinical trials, what are you doing? You are selecting the people, population, study population, where in a very strict inclusion exclusion criteria. Okay, you put a very stringent inclusion exclusion criteria, and you will ensure that all the risky patients are eliminated when you are doing the research. Okay, you will eliminate finally. Okay, when you eliminate all these, risky patients, then you will have any safer drugs. All the outcomes will be green, enjoyable, very nice, looking good, and happy for the regulators to pass the medicine. Okay, so you don't include young adults, 18 to 56 only you are including. So below that, they are highly vulnerable, and above that are also highly vulnerable for adverse drug reactions, and also giving consent also. And sample size is also, like, because every patient costs you 5 lakhs or 10 lakhs rupees, and you try to remove them as number as possible, as less as possible. You will do sample size limitations will be there, and then controlled environment. Okay, so you don't want any patient to get into ICU. So you always want everyone to be safe, and that's what is required. No, so whether you want to do the research or not, subjects will be safe. Okay, so that's the most important ethical principle what we do. And again, stress, sometimes during the, a lot of stress will be there, like investigators will have stress, sponsors will have stress, press will have the stress, and patients also will have the stress. And when that is the status, then, they may not come out with the proper reports at the end of the day. So it will result into have some problems, result all these. Okay, this is the gist of what we just discussed. And limitations of clinical trials. Again, what we discussed, narrow population, like age and sex is very much controlled, especially reproductive age females are not included. Okay, so how can we use them during the pregnancy, or like how, like if we want to recommend anything related to whether to use these drugs during the pregnancy or not during the pregnancy, then again, you may have to conduct further research. So sometimes you will not be able to get the ethical committee. Sometimes it happens. It happens. One case, we reported it. What happened? One patient, she took RU486, that is the mifepristone, and unfortunately, like abortion did not happen. And then the baby continued to grow in the womb, and then delivery also happened. Then when we got that baby, we identified that patient had tetralogy of Fallot and many other, congenital anomalies and all. Then I asked my students to, go through that case and then report, review that case and then finally report it out. So it's a very unique case. So we will not have any, sometimes like this, like these eccentric cases only will come into the pharmacovigilance. But generally, generally you won't have data coming from these kind of patients. Okay, so and it is not possible also. Okay, so narrow therapeutic, narrow indications. We, ensure that, we when we are selecting the patients, very carefully patients are included. Okay, and again, environment is also like that. You conduct the research in a ICU kind of environment where you ensure that no patient get into the trouble. Okay, and time interval also very you may not give sufficient time for the event to develop. Okay, before the event develops, you may remove. The moment they see a minor some kind of adverse drug reactions, you will remove the patient from that. Then you may not have full-blown adverse drug reaction to come into the main picture. I don't say that it should happen, but like in the real practice, what happens? Patient would have taken, like I have seen, NSAID is taken for 10 years. Can you imagine? Patient has taken NSAID every day, 1 or 2 tablets for 10 years and came and admitted with the chronic nephrotic, chronic kidney failure. Okay, CKD. A patient. Okay. So these kind of things you can you can see in real practice. But in literature, you won't find such things. And you go to ICU. I tell every time to my students, you go to ICU, you will see at least out of 20 patients available, at least six of them will be having adverse reaction. At least 2 severe hypoglycemic patients. Okay, so maybe they are having some fasting or some kind of mother generally old ladies, they will do fasting for Sankasti or Ekadashi or something like that, and then they also take the medication and they forget that they are fasting and they get admitted to ICU with severe hypoglycemia and they went into coma also, and they are treated for for the hypoglycemia in ICU for months, and they will enter into bed sores, and then most probably either they will come out or they will die there. So such kind of patients I have seen. That's a very these kind of things that it is not reported in your regular clinical trials. So this is something which one need to be very. So what are the when do we do the pharmacovigilance activity? When the drug is born, on the same day, pharmacovigilance is also born. Okay, please take it from me. When the drug is born, pharmacovigilance is also born. When the pharmacology is born, pharmacovigilance is also born. Okay, so that is what the real thing actually. So when the drug is born, you need to start monitoring from the day one throughout the life of the drug. Okay, before the marketing, after marketing, so you can develop various kinds of reports. Okay, ICSR, PSUR, PBRUR. Okay, period. So ICSR means individual case safety report. PSUR means periodic safety update report. Generally, it is done after the post marketing. Okay. Then PBRER, periodic benefit risk evaluation report. That is for the when the drug is under the development. You keep on evaluating, you keep on preparing this PBRER, and then you keep on reporting. DSUR, next one is drug safety, developmental safety update report. Okay, as the drug is developed, you would keep on updating this developmental safety update report. You will give it to DSMB and take their approval. You keep on moving forward. So individual case record. Okay, so maybe you will not know that what is the importance of this individual case safety report. Is the most important unit report which is responsible for making any and every report that is prepared after that. That is PSUR, PBRER, or DSUR. Okay. So without the individual case records, you will not be able to do anything. Okay, so we need to, always report individual case record whenever any single area that is happening in your hospital. It needs to be keep on recorded, and it should be uploaded to the Vigiflow, and it should be we should continue our work. Okay, we should never, and it is the most important source data in pharmacovigilance. Okay, and it is collected in a standardized form. Okay, it is collected using a standardized method. So we have a ADR form which need to be used, and all these ICS are majorly contributed by healthcare providers and the patients. Okay, so we should make this kind of all these methods. It should be it should be popularized. Every patient should be popularized. Okay, where this ICSR reporting should be popularized to every patient. Customer reporting form is available, and also the ADR forms to be reported by the all the professionals, including doctors, dentists, healthcare providers, pharmacists, everyone. Okay, so everyone should be able to report, and like we are very lucky actually. Like we are very lucky as a pharmacology department. We are getting a very important database, that is the Vigiflow. Okay, Vigiflow. After you register to this Pharmacovigilance Program of India, a coordinator is identified in every center, and that coordinator will conduct all these awareness programs, and they will also upload these data to the WHO database directly. See, that's such a blessing, such a very important thing that has happened in our life. We can contribute directly to the world database. Okay, so if we can, we can also do research. We can take the permission of the this PVPI, and they will give permission also. You can do research also, and you can publish, and you just have to inform them that like we are doing it, and this is what is required, and they will help you. Okay, so this is something, and in addition to it, what's the good thing happened is that WHO database, it will give you medical coding. Okay, so medical coding can be learned, and then WHO, who coding also for the drugs. Okay, so WHO coding also is available. So like this, this is something which is really happened, and you can download your reports regularly, whatever you are uploading. What are the 4 important components that are required for making one ICSR? Okay, if you see the ADR form, it is having 4 components. So what is that? Okay, it contains identifiable patient. Okay, identifiable patient is patient related data is there. One is what is the initial, what is the age, what is gender, what is the height, what is the weight, when like this. Okay, so patient related demographic data. Next is in the last section, reporter details of it. Who is the doctor, who reported it, so what is the phone number, what is the contactable details, and all those things are available. Next is, which is the drug? Okay, so you have a section which is B section, which talks about the drug. Which drug, what is the narrative about it, what is who is the manufacturer, what is the expiry date, what is the dose you gave, which route you use, how much did you give, when did you start, when did you end, what is the indication, then what is the causality of it. So like this. Okay, so you will have complete details about it, and then what did you do? Okay, what did you do, what is the event? Okay, next important details are, what is the event, when it happened, when it started, when it ended, when what are the drugs used along with it, which disease, which are the other associated diseases, and what are the laboratory investigations, what whether it is serious or not serious. If it is serious, why do you consider it as serious, whether it is a death or is it a hospitalization or is something else is there. So all these details are there. Okay, and then you have additional section to give additional comment, and also there will be patient ID related information you can also upload. So this is the in brief about the components of this ADR form. Okay, so PSUR as well, like now I'll just try to give you a little bit details and then move on. See, PSUR comes under the NDC. Okay, new drug clinical trial rules. 2019. Okay, so in this are Drugs and Cosmetic Act also. It comes under the Drugs and Cosmetic Act. So in this, every any drug, okay, there is something called as new drug definition is there. What do you mean by new drug? Any drug that is introduced into Indian market, either it is new or a modified one. Okay, na? New drug means completely new molecule, NCE, new chemical entity, or any hello, can you hear me, all of you?
Yes, sir, we can hear.
Yes, sir, we can hear
Okay,
you,
I
sir.
think some problem was there. Suddenly, some network issue. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So let me continue. Can you see the slide also?
Yes, sir, we can see the slides.
Okay, yeah. So I was telling you that any drug that enters into the market till the first 4 years, okay, it is considered as new drug. Okay, so that definition is very important. Okay, so you should remember that. Okay, so the definition of new drug means any drug, any formulation, new formulation that is entered into the market till the first 4 years is considered as new drug. So once it comes under the new drug regulation, okay, so then it has so many, advantages and disadvantages also for the marketers. Okay, so like that. So what is the advantage? Disadvantage means what? Immediately after launching into Indian market, either regulators will give some recommendation. You need to conduct, post-marketing, clinical research, okay, or the phase 4 trial, or so and so many patients. Some, recommendations they will give. Once they give such recommendation, then the manufacturer or the marketer, they are supposed to conduct, they are mandatorily they have to conduct. That is the forced, pharmacovigilance activity. Okay, so it comes under the post-marketing surveillance or like a phase 4 trial. Okay, another kind of pharmacovigilance means again they are mandated to monitor the and provide the helpline to every customer or every patient and ensure that every patient is monitored. Okay, every patient is monitored and they are all the safety issues are collected and they make report and submit when they are supposed to submit every 6 months. Okay, for first 2 years. Okay, it means that 4 reports they need to give in a matter of 2 years. Okay, so first 6 months 1 report, second 6 months 1 report. Similarly, next year also again every 6 months. So totally 4 reports after marketing. And again, next 2 years, again one report per year they are supposed to. So it means that totally 6 reports they are supposed to give in 4 years. Okay. After completing 4 years, what will happen to it? After completing 4 years, then it becomes a old drug. Okay. So old drug means, like old drug means so many other regulations will follow. And, like little bit anyone else can also market, like if the second person is coming into the market and then they may not, they may not impose all these rules. But when the person is coming for the first time into the market with a particular drug combination and then or a new chemical entity, they have to follow this. This is about the, new drug. Okay, so DSUR again developmental update report, which I just mentioned to you. Pre-marketing continuous evaluation will be there, and they will keep on working with the DSNB, Drug Safety Monitoring Board, and all types of drugs will be marketed. monitored. All type of drugs will be monitored. Okay. So next is CSR, clinical study reports. Again, this is another important one which analyzes like I have written so many CSRs. So every, research, when they are completing any part, they will have to write a CSR as per the ICH E3 format. Okay, ICH E3. I suggest all the youngsters to go to ICH website and download, and there is a format available. There are headlines are there. So you go through it and you will learn a lot. Okay, ICH E3 report. So you need to make and then submit to the regulator. Okay. Okay. Next, who is this? Gaurav. Gaurav, don't do that. Who is this? Gaurav. Okay. So next is post-marketing surveillance. Okay. Post-marketing surveillance, I just mentioned to you. So you need to, you need to, you are forced basically if you are a marketer, marketing agency or the authorization holder, then you are forced to conduct phase 4 trials, and lifelong you are supposed to do pharmacovigilance activity. See, even though as a user at our hospital we do it, and even the agency like marketing authorization holder, they will also have the responsibility to monitor. Okay, so why do we report? Why should we report again? Okay, so ADRs can cause death, very serious illnesses, and it is one of the leading cause of death also. Okay, as per the WHO. And then if you go and properly do search, 5% of all admissions, okay, all the admissions will have adverse drug reactions. Okay, all the admissions happens because of the adverse drug reaction. 5% of all the admissions happens because of the adverse drug reactions. One needs to be careful and popularize this information, and it will have significant economic burden to the patient. What are the benefits of PVPA activity? You may be seeing that so many signals are released as and when. So that's an alert to the physicians, practicing physicians we are giving. And also we are popularizing, we are not differentiating whether the patient or the doctor. So we'll inform patients also, we'll inform doctors also, everyone will be informed. So that there will be alert, and even newspaper also sometimes will also post. Okay. So access to safety, database, safer drugs, most importantly. So there will be improved safer drugs. So like earlier, we always used to use penicillin for every infection. Now we don't use. So we are using cephalosporins or other, fluoroquinolones or other drugs which are considered to be safer and lesser adverse drug reactions are caused. So in that way, we are getting benefited through the pharmacovigilance, and then we update the patient information leaflet. Okay, and also the SPC. Okay, so product specific information. Okay, so summary of product characteristic SPC. Okay, so that document is also again updated regularly. So through the data what we are getting from the pharmacovigilance. Okay, see, that you may be posology section is there. So that is generally written by pharmacologists. Okay, so there they will say that this drug can be given to so many patients who with so many indications. Okay, these are the indications of it. This is the method of dosing. All those. So whether it is a OTC or a non-OTC, those kind of decisions also taken based on the pharmacovigilance activity. So we need to we need to ensure that these are some of the benefits what we get, and economic impact. So there will be reduced hospitalization and optimal economic, optimal and economical drug is used, and new drug is not always safe. So let us keep that in mind. New drug is not always safe. Okay, so minimize the adverse drug reactions also. Okay, so what are the regulatory actions what we can expect? One is upgrading the package insert. Okay, see, in India, people don't look at package insert. Okay, but in all throughout the world, okay, especially who is this Oppo? So please remove all these marks. Okay. So package insert. Okay, package insert is very important document. It is a regulatory document. Okay, so package insert, it will it's also SPC. Whatever you write in that, okay, if it is considered as OTC, then it is given as OTC. If the OTC word is removed, then it becomes a prescription drug. So like this, okay, package insert, and also indications are also updated. Okay, and then sometimes you may recall the whole batch also if the batch is causing a lot of adverse drug reactions, and again changes. It can be OTC to prescription only drug, or special prescriptions also, like special prescription means only diabetologist to prescribe, or neurologist to prescribe, or super specialist to prescribe, like that. You can also put restrictions for use of that particular drug. Okay, so now let us try to move to the next part of it. Okay, who can report? Clinicians, dentists, pharmacists, nurses, physicians, physiotherapists, everyone. Okay, everyone who is there in healthcare, and also non-healthcare personnel also, like consumers and patients, they can also report adverse drug reactions. Okay, so what to report we already discussed. Okay, so whether it is serious, not serious, whether it is a known drug or unknown drug. Many times, many times you will hear that the physician, sir, this is something what we see every day in day out. Should we report it? Yes, we should report. Why? Why we should report when it is already known? Okay, because you need to report, because what happens? Suppose the frequency of earlier literature says that it is 1 in 10,000 patients are getting this kind of adverse drug reaction. Suppose that sentence can be changed because based on regular reporting, if that can be changed from 1 in 10,000 to 1 in 1,000. Okay, 1 in 1,000 patients can experience such kind of adverse drug reaction. Is it not a significant change in the treatment requirement or the safety information? It is a very important information. Okay, if it is changing from 1 in 10,000 to 1 in 1,000, or 1 in 100, or 1 in 10 patients can experience adverse drug reaction. It happens, no? Like nimesulide. Earlier it was introduced in various countries, and now it is banned in every country, most of the countries, but except in India. In India, again, it is banned for pediatric population, and it is available only for the adult population. So maybe we are finding it okay, to sustain such kind of medicines, and our people are happy using nice, so that's okay. So nimesulide. So what I'm saying is that there are like if these are based on the pharmacovigilance only, nimesulide is removed from market. Based on the pharmacovigilance only, fexofenadine is restricted, or terfenadine is removed from market, or moxifloxacin is removed, oral formulations are removed from market, or tetracyclines are restricted, only doxycycline is available today. So why this has happened? It happened mainly because of pharmacovigilance. All of you have added value to it. Okay, so we need to be, like if a reaction is considered earlier non-serious, and if it can get converted into serious, then is it not a significant development? Yes, it is important. Okay, so the severity of the adverse event, earlier it is non-serious, now it becomes serious because of pharmacovigilance activities. In a particular, genetic composition is different from one population to another population. So when that is there, then that can happen through pharmacovigilance. Why not do it? Okay, everyone should take interest in reporting whether it is earlier it is rare adverse event to more frequent adverse event can get converted, like the literature only can tell you. So in that way we will be able to make important contribution to therapeutic application. So allopathic drugs, ayurvedic drugs, vaccines, take it from any kind of drug, it should be we should be able to do that. Okay, how to report? So ADR forms are available, freely available, PDF is available. You search online, ADR form by PUPI, so you will get the PDF. You can download it, you can print, and straight away you can start using it. Okay, so here we have like our center details I have given. So and what happens after you report the adverse drug reaction? It goes to WHO database, and the WHO database in India is administered by NCC, IPC, that is PVPI, situated in Ghaziabad, okay, Uttar Pradesh. There we have the central office, and all the AMCs and industry, patients, consumers, everyone, they keep on putting in the data. Once they put in the data, then what happens? That data is again, taken by the NCC IPC, and they will analyze the data, and then they will do the signal detection, they will analyze it, and then they will, come up with some kind of suggestions that is the signal they will identify, and they will release the newsletter. Okay, they will release the newsletter. They say that this drug is safe, this drug is not safe, this is good, this is bad, or any kind of, comments. They have released more than, I think, 150 signals they have already released. Okay, so this is an important contribution. And what is the ways of reporting? You can report, like, as a customer, you can call 1-800-180-3024. How do we remember it? 1800 is a regular toll number. 180 is also a regular toll number. Okay, 1-800-180. Then 30 and 24. 30 days, 24 hours in a day. Okay, so like that. Okay, it's much easier to remember. 1-800-180-3024. Okay, so that's how we can call and we can report also. Android application is also available, ADR PV3I. So that application can be downloaded and you can also report. And not only not only in India, so every country, like, America uses Sions, and Medwatch is used by other countries, and then they all report. Okay, most of the forms are similar only. The contents are, similar only. This is the red form. This is for us. Okay, so all these red forms what we are using nowadays. This is derived from this. So this is the suspected ADR reporting form, and then medicine side effect reporting form for the consumers is also available. ADR reporting form for COVID-19 drugs. Like, every disease also, when they find something interesting or important, so they will also make it available. So, but this is the form which we regularly use for reporting adverse drug reactions. Okay, so why do we need the form? So it's important that, when we are dealing with 140 crores of people, it's important for us to get the data in a structured format. Okay, in a particular format, so that we can easily analyze, and we can easily do some kind of research, or signal detection can be done, and then finally we can take some preventive actions. So if we have to do it, then this is the only way. We should have a regular form that is available, and this document will help you in designing. It's a very user friendly document, and which we can easily do. And so we should try to upload the data within time, as early as possible, and we should this will help us to identify the risk based analysis. The risk benefit analysis can be done, and then I think this is what are the futures, how we identify. So a little bit of details I have given here. And I told you that there are 4 sections are there: patient-related information, adverse drug reaction information, and suspected medication medication-related information, and reporter details. Now, as I told you, can we do a small, workup? This is the case history. So if all of you have a form, can you please start writing it? Okay. So in 2 minutes, I'll just try to read. If you have the form, please, all of you can write this. Take a form. You have the form, and then start filling it. Okay. So the data, I'm just giving you the data, and then you can start filling. If you are the first timer, so I don't expect everyone to do it. At least the students who are doing for the first time, so they can do, or any nurses or technicians, or pharmacy students. Someone is there, so they can very well do it. Professors can, that if they've already done it, they can avoid it, no problem. So, but the students and the junior staff members, so they can very well practice this. Anyway, after this, I will also discuss this, how to fill this form, and then after that causality assessment, and we'll wind up today's class. Okay. So introduction, okay. So a male patient by name ANT of 21-year age, 60 kg body weight, who received anti-snake venom serum and experienced drug-induced hypersensitivity reaction and reported to have itching and rashes. Okay, patient had adverse event called itching and rashes, and patient's name is ANT, 21-year age, 60 kg body weight, and patient received anti-snake venom serum and experienced drug-induced hypersensitivity reaction, and symptoms were itching and rashes. Okay. Next is medical history. Okay, patient had snake bite and treated with anti-snake venom serum on 9 July 2021. Immediately after initiation of anti-snake venom serum, patient developed drug-induced hypersensitivity reaction with symptoms itching and rashes. Okay, so you can start filling the form. Okay, so hope can I go to the next slide? If you have filled the form, one of you who are filling the form, can you come online and then keep on helping me so that I can move forward or not? Okay. One of you, Akash is there, Amina, Amit, anyone is there? Okay. So I assume that I can go to the next slide. Okay. Next slide is product details. Indications for anti-snake snake venom serum was snake bite. Okay, indication for snake venom serum was snake bite. Therapy began on 9 July 2021 at 9 p.m. Okay, so keep on filling the form. Once the reaction was noted at 9:30 p.m. on 9 July 2021, injection hydrocortisone and injection avil was given. Okay, so reaction stopped at 10:10 p.m. on 9 July 2021. Anti-snake venom serum infusion was continued after after remedial treatment. What happened here? First, snake bite happened, and then anti-snake venom serum was given. So immediately after the therapy, maybe of 30 minutes after giving the anti-snake venom serum, patient started having hypersensitivity reaction and itching and other reactions, swelling happened, and patient was given remedial treatment immediately. Injection hydrocortisone and injection avil was given, and then reaction stopped at 10:10 p.m. Okay, after under the influence of the medication hydrocortisone and avil, what happened? Patient continued with the anti-snake venom serum. Okay, so then infusion continued. So under the remedial treatment, okay, now under the remedial treatment, that is injection hydrocortisone and injection avil, because they were effective, and continuation of anti-snake venom serum was done. Nothing happened, and treatment 10 vials completed. 10 vials were given, and patient completely recovered. Okay, frequency. So hypersensitivity reaction is completely waned down. Okay, that is treated properly, and complete 10 vials dose of anti-snake venom was completed. Okay, so this is the status of it. Then further, to complete the remaining sections, concomitant therapy, no other drug was given. Okay, so as per the patient details. Then outcome, the patient recovered from the event. Okay, so you have the section also, whether patient continuing to have the adverse event or recovered or died or something like that. Okay, so the patient recovered from the events completely. In this case, what is the causality assessment? So we did the assessment, causality assessment, reporter suspected that adverse events were probably or likely related to the suspected drug, because like patient was normal completely, and immediately After starting the anti-snake venom serum, patient got into this hypersensitivity reaction and itching and swelling or the other issues. Okay. So then what happened? So we treated it and it got suppressed, but under the influence of the drug, so after the re-challenge, it did not appear. But it is not a real re-challenge. Okay, here it is a hitch is that problem is the catch is that like the drugs like hydrocortisone and avil were effective. That's why after reinfusion of anti-snake venom serum, so nothing happened. Okay, that's why we are not we can't accept that re-challenge was done and no reaction did not happen. Okay, so that is something if the re-challenge is done and reaction did not appear means it is not related actually. Okay, but in this case we are calling it as probably or likely, mainly because the patient was under the influence of hydrocortisone and avil. Okay, so when such confounding factors are there, we are still going by probably or likely based on the sequence of events. Okay, you started the infusion and then patient had the adverse event and you treated and it also subsided, and after that you continue. Okay, additional information: lab test report, prothrombin time 18.7 seconds, INR 1.34. Okay, so that's the no additional information was available at the time of it. So this is the case. Hope all of you have filled it. I don't want to waste time, so let me progress to the method of filling the form. Okay, so you can see here we have the information. ANT is filled, patient initial. Generally, we don't want to write the exact name because to maintain the confidentiality of the patient. Okay, then age is mentioned 21 years. Then male or female is written. Okay, so male is thick. Okay, weight 60 kg is thick. Okay, so this is the thing. Next is that like how to go for the next. What is the start date? Start date is 9 July 2021 and time also need to be written. Okay, 9:30 because when did the bite happen? Same day. When did you start the anti-snake venom? Same day. So when did the reaction happen? Same day. So if you just mention the date and date, then you will not be able to identify whether like whether the infusion happened first or the reaction happened first. Okay, you will have the confusion. That's why you need to always write when did the infusion started, when did the reaction initiated, when did you give the remedial treatment, when the treatment is completed, when the reaction subsided. All these things, timing should be written. Then only you will be able to identify the exact, exact sequence of activities. That's why you need to. So at 9:30 event started and 10 p.m. reaction subsided, right? So total duration, onset lag time is 30 minutes. Means you started at 9 p.m. the infusion and the reaction happened at 9:30. So the lag period is 30 minutes after the initiation of the treatment. Okay, next details about the event. Okay, you need to describe the event. That is very important. Okay, so what should we describe here? Patient received anti-snake venom serum. See, narrative is very important, which tells you in detail about the how to kill properly. Otherwise, see, if you go to physicians, what do they do? Itching and rashes. That's all they will write. And which drug also they won't write. And when it started, which medicine is given, nothing they will write. What kind of adverse drug reactions? What are we going to do with it? Nothing. We can't do anything. And it is better you don't report that whole. Okay. So it's important for us to report everything. Okay. So patient received anti-snake venom serum and experienced drug-induced hypersensitivity reaction and reported to have itching and rashes. Therapy began on 9 July 2021 at 9 p.m. Once the reaction was noted at 9:30 p.m. on 9 July 2021, injection hydrocortisone and injection avil was given. Reaction stopped at 10:10 p.m. on 9 July 2021. Anti-snake venom serum infusion was continued after remedial treatment. So this is the proper description of the event. Next is that what the medicine, okay, which is the medicine? Anti-snake venom serum. So who is the manufacturer? I have written masked it just to ensure the confidentiality of the manufacturer. But you can very well generally anti-snake venom serum is manufactured mainly by the Bharat Serum in India. So where everyone knows Bharat Serum and Vaccine Institute, which manufactures regularly. Expiry date is mentioned here. Okay, so and then what is the dose that was given? Dose is 10 vial. A route of administration IV was given. Then once daily. Okay, what is the date it started? What is the date ended? And the snake bite. What is the indication and the probable or possible incident? Then what is the action that was taken? Okay, so the action taken, dose did not change. Okay, we did not stop anti-snake venom serum because snake bite is a bigger problem. Okay, so we need to treat. So what is the best way of treating? Giving the anti-snake venom serum. So we can't stop the use of anti-snake venom serum. So this is a life or death situation. You have to give. So when such condition is there, you are giving the remedial treatment. That is the hydrocortisone and avil you are giving, and then you are continuing the medication under the close watch. Okay. Then reaction, whether reappeared or not. So it is written no. Okay. So it's not an actual no also, but that also we all know it. Okay. Next, we'll try to understand the causality assessment quickly. What do you mean by causality assessment? It is defined as evaluation of likelihood that the medicine was the causative agent of the observed event. Okay, so it is defined as the evaluation likelihood of that medicine or the culprit being the causative agent. Okay, so that's something we need to identify. It's a kind of detective job. Okay, so it's a very interesting one, but it's a very methodology is available, so we will be able to do that. Let us move on. Okay, here you can see that Naranjo scale, which I'm trying to describe. You can see here, are there previous conclusive reports on this reaction? Okay, many of my associates, I find juniors, they don't go back to the literature and come back whether like they say, sir, not related, sir, don't know, sir, something like that, they will come. Okay, but you need to do now. So you have the literature, you have the patient insert or patient leaflet inserts are there, or SPCs are available. So download and check what is related, whether what is reported already. Are there any previous conclusive reports are there? If it is yes, then +1 need to be marked. Okay, then did the adverse event appear after the suspected drug was administered? Okay, so whether there is any temporal relationship to the administration of the drug? Yes, +1 is there. Okay, so generally it will be there. Next, did the adverse reaction improve when the drug was discontinued or a specific antagonist was administered? Okay, so you can see that did the adverse event improve when the adverse event was, when the drug was discontinued or a specific. Yes, in this case, again, the antagonist was not exact antagonist, but antagonist means, some remedial measures when we give, it stopped also. Did the adverse event reappear when the drug was re-administered? Okay, here in this case, like we can't say conclusively, but it did not reappear, so we can give -1. Are there alternative causes other than the drug that could on their own have caused the reaction? Okay, now so any other conclusive reports are there or any confusions are there? If you have any confusions, like more than one cause is there, in that case you need to give -1. Okay, that's why we go for possible. Okay, when you have more than one cause is there, so we go for possible. But that's the based on the score. Okay, now in this Naranjo scale is based on the score. But in WHO scale, if you see that there is another cause is there, then we directly go for in WHO scale, we directly go for the possible reaction. Okay, so here, is there any alternative cause? We don't have any other alternative causes there. Okay, now, so if we properly think whether the snake bite can cause rash and itching, possible, like it can also cause, okay, but reaction like the reaction of snake bite might have occurred very early, or toxins maybe slowly getting released, we don't know. But in this case, we assume that it's mainly because of the drug itself. Okay, did the reaction reappear when the placebo was given? See, this is the lacunae of this Naranjo scale. Who will like did the reaction reappear when the placebo was given? Who will give the placebo? I don't think this is a possible one. Nobody will give placebo, and they will keep on waiting for the placebo to react. What was was the drug detected in the blood or body fluids in concentration? How is it possible? Every adverse drug reaction we will not be able to measure, and that part, this concept is also not possible. Was the reaction more severe when the dose was increased or less severe when the dose was decreased? So, like challenging, rechallenging, and dechallenging is one, or upregulation or downregulation of the dose. If you are doing that, is also like generally we may not do that. Did the patient have similar reactions to the same or similar drugs in any previous exposure? We can try to get, but majority of the patients will say they don't have any idea about it. Was the adverse event confirmed by any objective evidence? Objective evidence, how do we do it? That is also not possible. So in this way, like maybe we have to estimate a marker or something like that. So that generally we will not be able to do it. So you can see out of 10 points, I think 5 of them we are not able to properly assess. That's why this methodology is not very much accepted by many regulators. Okay, that's why. So we may not go by this, but generally we go by WHO causality assessment scale. It's very simple and easy to implement, and we will be able to come to a conclusion very easily. Okay, so you can see that if you go by unlikely and all, it's much easier. Okay, unaccessible, unclassifiable, when like you have very less amount of data is available or cannot be judged, or also like that. And then conditional or unclassifiable, again like some data is missing. Okay, unlikely means when you gave the data, when you gave the drug, but the patient is not reacting properly. Okay, or it is not in the sequence. Okay, reaction was there earlier and you gave the drug, after that it became severe or something like that. We can't exactly locate whether because of the drug or not, because of the disease itself. Okay, so in that case again it comes under the unlikely. But in possible means what? Possible means you have the sequence properly. Okay, so the event happened after the drug was given, but disease also can cause the adverse increase in increase in this kind of events, or the disease, or the 2 or 3 drugs are given together, and one of them or 2 of them or more conditions or more items are causing such kind of reactions. In that case, we consider more than one cause. Very simple to say is that when more than one cause is identified, then it is possible. We call it as possible. Okay, very simple. When more than one cause is there, then you call it as possible. Okay, so that is how you can easily come to the conclusion. Probable means what? What do you mean by probable? Probable means one level nearer to the drug. Means what? Actually, only one cause is there, that is drug, and it is not explained by the disease. Okay, and only one drug which is known to cause or which is identified to cause, which you have the like temporal relationship, but you are not giving the you don't have the data of rechallenge and dechallenge. So when dechallenge and rechallenge data is not available, in that case you can say that it is probably or likely. Okay, or in your sense, like according to your clinical assessment, you see that this is the only cause, there is no other cause. Okay, then also you can call it as probable or likely. And then certain means what? You have all these, you are qualified by probable, but you have also done de-challenge and re-challenge, and when you re-challenge the drug, you got the reaction back. Okay, so that, then only you call it as certain. But many times, like hypoglycemia caused by insulin, we know definitely that, so many times you stop it, the blood sugar will increase. You give it, blood sugar will come down. We know it. So in such cases, we can try to mark it as fertile also. Okay. So more of a clinical classification and also going by clinical methodology. That's why WHO scale of assessment is really good and easy to follow. Next up, we are getting a continuation with our form. So you can fill the OPD number and IP, let's see, AMC number or all, we have to fill it. So we can do it. And then relevant test details are there, as the prothrombin time and INR details are given. So any other disease we don't know. So additional information, you can write injection hydrocortisone 100 mg IV. Okay. So generally, doctors don't write, injection hydrocortisone was given, but injection hydrocortisone 100 mg only IV comes. So that then you can write directly SOS means. Like you can avoid some abbreviations also, but you can say as and when required was given, only one dose was given. The indication of hypersensitivity and injection phenylamine 25 mg. Avil means what? It is only injection phenylamine 25 mg IV was given as and when required. So that is the time, start date, end date, and what is the indication of return. And the reporter's details also are given. So like this, you can complete the form. Okay. So in addition, you have some more details like whether any laboratory data is given or any allergies are there, previous history of allergy, and then whether the event is serious or something like that. Okay, what do you mean by serious event? So as per the definition, okay, it is given in the ICH E6 guidelines also, and also WHO, everyone gives. Okay, serious means any event which is supposed to, which is if you don't treat, it can lead to death, or it can be life-threatening. It requires a hospitalization. If the patient is already hospitalized, if there is a prolongation of the hospitalization, then it is considered as serious adverse event. Okay, serious adverse event. And then you have if the patient, if the mother consumes the medication, and after that, if the patient develops if the baby develops the congenital anomaly, then also it is considered as congenital anomaly. Then also it is considered as serious adverse event. And you may have to take, some extraordinary measures to, required to prevent permanent impairment or damage or grievous injury. Okay. So in such cases, again, it is considered as serious adverse event. And then if it has caused disability. Okay. Disability means loss of a limb or, loss of any issue, any organ function, or damage to eye, damage to, or it leads to grievous injury. As per the forensic definition, if it is a grievous injury, then it is considered as serious adverse event. Okay, it need not kill. Okay, so congenital anomaly to baby, it is a serious adverse event. Generally, it is reported after 9 months after the delivery. Okay, any requires, you require extra measures to prevent the death. That is again serious adverse drug reaction. Okay, so hospitalization, life-threatening, and death. So any of these conditions, if it is qualifying, then it is considered as serious adverse event. See, there are other terminologies also. Mild, moderate, severe. Okay, mild, moderate, severe. Severe and serious is different. Please note this. Okay, now severe and serious are different. Both of them are different. What do you mean by mild? Mild means it has caused an inconvenience, but don't require any treatment. It is not, you can tolerate and you can continue to do your daily life activities. So in that condition, it is considered as mild. Okay. Next one is what is moderate. Moderate means you require to give, minor or, or you would have to give some kind of treatment. That is the symptomatic treatment is required. Maybe you have pain, you develop pain after taking the medicine, or you experience some problem, then you have to give some antihistaminic or something like that, or symptomatic treatment you need to give, then it is mild. Okay, moderate. Okay, then it is called as moderate. You are giving symptomatic treatment. So without that, continuing life is difficult, or I'm saying patient is inconvenient, normal daily activities get affected. Okay, so if you give symptomatic treatment, it's fine. But what do you mean by severe? Severe means you require specific disease required treatment is required. Disease specific treatment is required. If it is suppose, like severe hypoglycemia happened and you need to give 25% glucose, or blood glucose level, it has gone below 10. So in such case, you need to, admit the patient to ICU or something like that. So here it is serious also and it is severe also. Okay, both. So all severe events need not be serious. Okay, severe means so all severe events need not be serious. Please note this. Okay, now. So severe event means you require more specific, more intensive treatment, but it need not be life-threatening. It need not be debilitating, or it need not be like requiring hospitalization. It need not be causing any damage. But when the severe event about to cause death, about to cause life-threatening event, or whether it requires more longer hospitalization, when it causes congenital anomaly in the newborn, or a disability, or grievous injury. So in such cases, it is considered as serious adverse reaction. SAE. SAE is different from severe. Okay, so please note it. So I think with this, then you may also mark. So in this case, patient recovered. You can say so patient recovered. So that is what we have written. So additional information wherever you can fit. So with this, I think we have come to the end of our today's discussion. We discussed about the history of drug safety, phases of clinical trials. We discussed need for more pharmacovigilance, limitations of clinical trials and drug development. We discussed, and types of various reports also we discussed. Definition of ADR, pharmacovigilance, AER we discussed. Aims and objectives of pharmacovigilance we discussed. Benefits of pharmacovigilance we discussed. And how to form, fill the form, where to what to fill, and all components of ADR forms to discuss. I hope I think it was hope all of you enjoyed listening to me. So with this, I would like to you have my email ID. So I think now if any doubts are there, you can write to me later, or anyway my phone number is there. You can send a request using my mobile phone or something like that. But I hope I have done best to educate all of you about the adverse drug reactions and related information. So any Dr. Swapna, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So any questions or any comments or anything, we can quickly look into it.
Hello.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah, please. Please go ahead. Hello. So there is one comment from Dr. Patil sir, Prabhakar Patil sir. Where is what is their limit to ADR report? So there is no limit, sir. All the ADRs, whatever you have, you should be able to report. And every ADR should be reported. That's what I can say. So if I understand, is there any time limit for reporting? That's maybe you may be looking at that angle. Yes, like generally, if it is a clinical trial, okay, if it is a clinical trial, in such cases, you are supposed to report in India any serious adverse event should be reported within 14 days. Okay, within 14 days, you are supposed to report adverse drug reaction, serious adverse drug reaction, SAEs, to the regulatory agencies and ethics committee and sponsor representative and the investigator, everyone. Okay, so that is the one requirement as per the new drug NDCT rules 2019. So accordingly, you need to report. Earlier Schedule Y, and now it is Drugs and Cosmetic Act NDCT 2019. Accordingly, you need to report within 14 days. Any serious. But otherwise, all other ADRs can get into any like you can go to the periodic safety update report to DSNG development DSUR, developmental safety update report also you can prepare and give it to them. Okay, so that can be regularly you can keep on doing it. Causality assessment done for every ADR, whether it is fatal or not. Yes, you need to do, without that, we will not be able to locate whether it is really an adverse drug reaction or a adverse event. Okay, causality assessment should be done for every ADR, and that needs to be actually, if you are an AMC, you need to give the causality, you need to have a causality assessment committee, and you need to meet regularly, and you need to, give that to PVPA also. Monthly, you need to send the report. Okay, so that these are all some of the important things are there. But unfortunately, the PVPI is not giving the faculty or the manpower. So that some limitations are there because of our academic activities which are demanding. So that is also need to be taken, but this is also need to be done. So, but in the interest of society, we are supposed to do extra care, and then we have to do all this. So that is there.
Hello.
Okay. Yeah, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Dr. Kulkarni here. I just have a few questions. I just asked whether pharmacological actions also have to be reported.
Pharmacological, sir, if I was very clear, yeah, this is the regular question what you get in your clinic, like when you go and ask the people to, report ADR, they will say, this is something which is, very common, well known, why should I report? I mentioned to you that, suppose suppose any adverse, suppose you are treating, what for you are using. So if I give you example, you have an anti-hypertensive, okay, anti-hypertensive, you know that it reduces the heart rate, it reduces the, cardiac output, it can cause congestive heart failure, it can cause hypotension, it can cause many things, okay, now your objective of using, the antihypertensive is to reduce the BP one day, okay, but not to cause the congestive heart failure. Do you agree with me?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you don't, intend to cause congestive heart failure, no. Am I correct?
Right.
So if the antihypertensive, see, it is a pharmacological action only. Okay. So everyone knows that congestive heart failure happens because cardiac output comes down when you give antihypertensive, especially calcium channel blockers. When you give it, reduces the cardiac output, and there will be peripheral cooling of the.
Yeah, the same for hypoglycemia in diabetic trials, right?
Yeah. So even hypoglycemia, see, we never intend to induce hypoglycemia. It happens. So it's mainly because, see, how frequently it happens. See, metformin, that's why metformin is considered as a safer drug, better drug, and first-line drug than the glibenclamide or sulfur drugs, right? Sulfonamides.
Yes.
Sulfonamides are, potency-wise, they are much better. But they are not used in the first line. There we are only going by metformin because anyway we have over long-term use, we found that many other benefits, but it does not cause hypoglycemia. Frequency of hypoglycemia is very less. So in that way, what I'm saying is, after using, if you use sulfonamides, definitely every patient will experience one or the other day hypoglycemia, and it can be severe also. So that's why now we are going well, metformin or SGLT2 inhibitors or DPP4 inhibitors. So these are the newer things which came into picture mainly because sulfonamides are, even though they are more potent drugs, but we don't use them. So because they cause hypoglycemia, we never want
And it has to be mentioned as certain only, no, as you said.
No. Sometimes yes, sometimes see, you have to assess. Suppose if the patient get into hypoglycemia because of fasting, right?
No, sometimes in bioequivalence for healthy subjects, it causes hypoglycemia.
Yeah.
So we can, and there is no rechallenge, dechallenge done there. So we can mention as certain only, no?
Yeah, you can. What I'm saying is, if you are, see, they will also measure the drug also. In bioequivalence study means, generally they will also measure the drug. So more, opportunities are there for us to ascertain that the drug was more than required. And you can see, according to your clinical classification, you can go by, like WHO classification, you can go up to possible, probable. Okay, possible, probable. Re-challenge and
Yes.
de-challenge, when you find it, it's exactly fine. I mean, you recover, recover the ADR or reoccurrence of the ADR is confirmed after after giving the drug, then only you call it as certain. But maybe, you can justify by adding additional, like based on your clinical, that's what the, causality assessment committee need to
Okay.
do, no? So they can say that no, it is definitely happened
Correct.
because of this, because all other parameters are taken care. So you don't need to do anything else. You can go for certain. So that will increase the possibility of blaming the drug, okay, or identifying identifying the culprit. So that maybe that will help you to, after doing so much of research or analysis, you may have to advise the user some precautions, or reduce the like level from OTC to prescription drugs, or from a general physician to a specialist to use. So like that you can modify your SPC.
Okay. So as per physician discretion, we can write certain, you are saying.
Yes, sir. I think that you can
And-
try. Yeah.
Okay. And this SAE 24 hours information is at the time of knowledge, or at the time of happening only?
At the time of knowledge, sir, because without if the
Correct,
patient
correct.
does not report, no, like it's when the investigator comes to the comes to their understanding that they have understood that there is an adverse event or serious adverse event happened. Because if the patient is at home and he don't come back after 3 days or 7 days after having severe problem, he get admitted somewhere else, some doctor treat him, and then next visit is after 1 month, and when he comes to the next visit, at that time he tells us, sir, I experienced some problem. So at that time, then only you will come to know. So the moment you come to know, you should report within 24 hours,
Yes,
and
yes.
within 14 days you need to give the complete details.
Okay, but I think I just checked this thing also. I think discrepancy
You
in the
understood,
guideline.
no?
Yes,
There are
yes,
two
yes,
things.
yes.
Two things. One is notification to regulators and the sponsors. That is within 24 hours. But the detailed report, I mentioned that you need to give the complete detailed report, advanced, entire, in-depth analysis of that adverse event, and a report, ADR report need to go to the, again, second mail it can go.
Correct, correct.
The first
Yeah.
mail is to, I'm just saying that I noted that this is the patient, this is the trial, this is the drug, this is what has happened, this is, I came to know, and this is for your information. That's all, one mail will go, that's all.
So I would
But-
just like,
Yes, yes, sir.
I would just like to add one point for
Yeah.
this particular question.
Yeah.
Sometimes predictable adverse effects or side effects, we can inform the patient prior to the prescription. Like for example, rifampicin, the first line anti-TB drug, it is known to cause discoloration of urine and other
Yeah.
body fluids. So this
Yeah.
we can always tell them that it will happen, but once the treatment is stopped, it it may not prolong this kind of.
Those things we can tell in well in advance. That's
Yes,
can,
sir.
but what the discussion going on is the serious adverse event. When the serious adverse event happens, when to report. So first
Yes.
notification to sponsors, regulators, ethics committee, and the others, everyone should know within 24 hours. Okay, that's the any DSMB or ethics committee or a chairperson of
Knowledge,
ethics
24 hours of knowledge.
Yeah, they are within 24 hours. They should get the first information, but detailed information should go within 14 days. But in internationally, they have something, so they have divided. In India, it is every SAE need to go. In internationally, what they have done is a life-threatening serious adverse event need to be done. It is considered as expedited reporting. Within 7 days, internationally, it should go. Okay, within 7 days, they need to give the complete details. But whatever the available day, details up to that date. Okay, no? So detailed information within 7 days it should go, and within 15 days they need again, like other serious adverse events. Okay, other than life threatening. Okay, other than life threatening, they can go within 15 days. So like that, some differences are there as per the regulatory structure. Okay.
And doctor, many people believe that pregnancy also has to be reported as AE, which is not the truth, correct?
Pregnancy, not an ADR, but it is, if the pregnancy happens, why you need to report? Because you need to monitor. Okay, you need to account it. Now there is a pregnancy, and till the delivery you need to monitor, and you are relieved of the tension only if the baby is born normal. Okay, you have got my point. If the baby is normal, then it is not an SAE. If the baby is born with deformity, then it is considered a SAE. Understood? Any? Are you fine? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah. Your good name.
My
actually,
query
we
is,
no, we
no,
are
pregnancy
answering.
is,
What I'm saying is we are answering each other, but I want to know your name, good name, and your company.
I'm Dr. Nitin Kulkarni, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So what I'm trying to tell you is, I mean,
You are
ask you is,
from? You are from?
I am from Klinovi from Pune.
Okay. Clean all. Okay. Yeah.
So my question is, usually most of the people, they document AE, a pregnancy, initial pregnancy as AE, but which is not to be documented as AE. It is only to be notified, right?
Yes. It is only to be notified. It's only we need to document that pregnancy happened. Okay, we need to start writing the case and intimate the people that
Okay.
pregnancy
Yeah.
has happened, but you are relieved of, you are relieved from this case only after the delivery and saying that there is no SE. That means no deformity is there. Okay, you got my point. You are relieved means you are relieved from this case. Like you can close this case
Yes.
as a non-SAE after the delivery. Till delivery, you need to give.
Right.
Whether there is any
Oh,
abortion is
right.
there, any abortion is there, or any early delivery, or any late delivery, or any inertia of the pregnancy, or any death inside the womb, or normal delivery. It can be whether it is cesarean delivery or normal delivery. Everything you need to document. And you need to say, you need to submit to the DSMB or your ethics committee and declare that it's not an SAE. Okay, baby is born normally. Delivery might have added consequences, but baby is not.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So what are the
Okay.
difference between someone with some questions are there? If one more, what is the objective evidence to confirm an ADR? It's a question of the causality. Yeah, it is there, like objective evidence means, you need to, one is you may have to take a photograph of the, patient, like any rashes are there, you need to collect, or if any laboratory investigation changes are there, you need to collect. Or if there is any markers are there, you may have to collect some, some inflammatory markers are there, or any ECG is there. So like that, objective evidence. So that you need to collect. Then if a positive rechallenge is prevented by treatment of the rechallenge, how to consider the conclusion of the rechallenge. Okay, if the positive rechallenge is prevented by treatment after rechallenge. I did not get exactly. If the positive rechallenge is there, okay, prevented by treatment after rechallenge. Okay. Yeah, I think, there can be, these confusions will be there. Okay. So whether in this case, I just mentioned in our case, what we discussed, we gave the treatment, we gave the drug produced the reaction. After that, we have given some treatment, remedial treatment we have given, and then we re-challenged it. But we are not concluding as a definite case or not an ADR. Okay, not an ADR. We are not concluding that mainly because the patient was under the influence of hydrocortisone and avil. Okay, this is the real case. That's why I have taken this case. It can raise lot of questions. Okay, so every case is like this. So that's where as a MD pharmacologist, your expertise will come in here. Okay, so you need to put your mind into it, knowledge into it for assessing and concluding. Okay, so that's something we did. Okay, what is the opinion on the HCV legal clinical trial? No, I can't have any opinion. I don't have any opinion. So since I know only so much what you have, what you know. It is only, it has come in the paper. That's what we know, but we don't know what is what. Okay, is it ethical to use RU486 for the abortion? So that is again, it is available. So no, not for the babies. So actually, what happened in the case, what I mentioned, patient took in the first before the like immediately after 24 hours or 48 hours after the coitus, patient took the medicine, but unfortunately abortion did not happen. Or the implantation happened and baby continued to grow. Okay, so that's an unfortunate thing. At that time, we got this case, but abortion and all. I think there are rules are there, so that needs to be like within first trimester or within 8 weeks or whatever it is. So I think nowadays they have revised also. I don't know exactly, and since I'm not an obstetrician, I don't want to comment on that. Should pharmacologists be held responsible for causing a no, 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 pharmacologist, why, pharmacologist is not practicing, right? So why should we blame pharmacologist? What are the key challenges in pharmacovigilance implementation in low and middle income countries like India? Challenges are, most importantly, resources are the challenges, and we have to do multiple jobs. So that is there. So, but our will, interest to, serve the nation, serve the people, should push us. We are all working with limitations. Nobody is having the luxury of all the facilities. So we need to continue working. What are the differences between ADR reporting and AEFI reporting? Please walk us to the AEF reporting, and will be another webinar. Yeah, it's a good question. So there are differences are there. I think causality methodology for AEFI is different. Other than that, reporting, the same form we can use for reporting also AEFI. But you can, currently, like the causality assessment is little bit different. That's the only thing I can tell. But currently, I can't commit whether there will be another webinar or not. So that we will see in the future. Next, known areas also need to be documented. So I think we have already discussed. Yeah, if it is less severe, more severe, or frequency, so we there will be differences will be there. So we should keep on reporting, okay, as much as possible, and we should be able to achieve our objective of regulating the drugs. Next, life begins at conception. Okay. Yeah, I think let us, I'm not interested in commenting whether it is good to, good to do the abortion or not. It's wrong to do, because I'm not doing, or we are not responsible for it. It's the obstetrician job, and it is a regulator's job also. Okay, it's also parents, who have consumed, who are responsible for taking care of their babies. It is their responsibility. So I don't want to comment on that. Can you give example of global pharmacovigilance success story and that? Yeah, I think we have discussed, so we have discussed many. Most importantly, we have NSAIDs. Okay, so COX-2 selective NSAIDs. So they were removed from the market, many of them, or caution was given. Okay, so celecoxib, rofecoxib. So they started producing a lot of cardiovascular events, and because of pharmacovigilance, they stopped. And nowadays you can see that even COVID vaccine, that is another big story. A lot of cardiovascular events are linked to it, and there is no conclusive reports are available. And there are challenges are there. Sometimes data is not does not come into the literature. So our job is to bring all this into the picture. So that's the thing. I hope we have addressed all. In the interest of time, let us stop. We have exceeded, I think, half an hour we exceeded. Thank you so much.
Sir, if there are no further questions, I would like to thank Dr. Shiva Murthy, sir, for highlighting the importance of pharmacovigilance activities, and all the other subtopics have also been clearly covered. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sapna, for hosting as a chairperson. and
Yes.
I think it went very well. We served our purpose of conducting this adverse drug reaction monitoring related topic, pharmacovigilance. So thank you so much, everyone. Let us take let us pledge, like with so much of efforts, we have done. Let us pledge that we all take responsibility to steer the pharmacovigilance activities at your respective center, and let us hope that we as a pharmacologists take pride in reporting areas and uploading the areas to BCGI website, that's the PVPI website, and contribute to the nation, contribute to the world, and like there are challenges are there. It's nothing is nothing is a cakewalk. Okay, so it is hardship that comes into picture, and we all, like you can see that since last 6 years. So we have been doing so because of that reason, regulators are also like PPI, they also recognized and they have upgraded me to the training committee. So like this, like so the fruits also does some awards also came in, and we don't have any additional. I think there is something. Do we have 60M? So no, we don't have any additional class. Only this is the class. So this is the webinar. So we are concluding this. With this, I would like to thank and let us take the pledge I was saying to take the steps towards making the pharmacovigilance activities. Anyway, pharmacovigilance week is coming September 17 to 24, right? So 17 to 24, we will have the pharmacovigilance week every year, and hope everyone participate in that, and then take more activities, steps to report ADRs and encourage everyone. And we have also written a book, as I mentioned you, that is pharmacovigilance reflective writing book. Okay, so it is available in the market. If any of you are interested, you can buy that. It is a very interesting compendium where almost around I think 40 plus stories are there. Okay, so individual stories written by various authors spread out throughout the country. They have written the stories regarding uh, uh, these pharmacovigilance, adverse drug reactions, actually, and treatment, and it's a kind of reflective writing. The people have like reporters, they have reflected how they felt, what they identified, and that's someone is asking the name of it. That's a pharmacovigilance reflective writing book. Okay, so I'll post it in the group also. Pharmacovigilance reflective writing book. Okay, so you can I will put it into the group also. The link you can purchase, you can read through it, and hope you will enjoy learning from the experiences of various doctors. Medical students have also written, and the consultants have written. So they're interesting stories they have written. Okay, so with this, thank you so much for everyone for attending and supporting MPS activities. We are growing slowly, and help us to reach our activities to everyone. And looking forward to see you in the next webinar again. We'll have another interesting person, a professor coming from different state, and they are chaired by another interesting professor. So we don't have, do we have a 6 p.m. today? No, we don't have 6 p.m. There is no class more. Okay, we have finished so far today. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Good day. Good night.